And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Mitchell.
And, guys, it hasn't been pretty for him in the past 5 games. He's having one of those scoring slumps that all players go through at some point in the season. But I know he hadn't lost his confidence, and I expect this young man to get after it here tonight.
The starters for the Utah Jazz, Conley and Mitchell, the talented backcourt pair. Bogdanovich out there with O'Neal. And it's Gobert in at the 5 down low. And for the Thunder, Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Paul out there with Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Dort in at small forward. Well, Smitty, for players and teams that are out of the playoff hunt, how do they stay motivated here to go the rest of the season every night, every practice, every trip?
And I think that's when the organization, your captains, your coaches, you got to talk about being a pro. Sometimes you lose focus. You're not in the playoffs, and maybe your team that was supposed to be or not slated to be in the playoffs. You still are a professional. You have to have a professional approach.
And here are the Thunder now. Paul, right side, over Conley. Almost, but it rolls out. And it's Conley with the ball for Utah. Now the pass to Gobert. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
A much more physical player now than when he first entered the league. Gobert powering it home.
Bounce pass from Paul. Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Paul. Just 5 to shoot. Over Mitchell. Adams down low. Defended by Gobert. Gobert with the block.
And that's one of Gobert's specialties, a shot blocking master.
Mitchell dishes to Conley. Mitchell outside. Back to Conley. Now on the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
Even with a hand in his face, Conley is too good. Keeps his focus at all times.
Pass to Paul. Shoots a fader. And a great assist by Gilgeous-Alexander as that one goes in. Just about 2 minutes into the game. First quarter of basketball. Ball against Conley. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Really a sponge. Donovan Mitchell watches a ton of film, accepts coaching, and applies it. A big part of his rise to stardom.
It's his first trip to the line.
And he's been terrific, guys. I mean, the percentage right around 86%, so no doubt he's pleased with that.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. And the early success of Mitchell speaks to his ability to absorb and take coaching.
Yes, credit that coaching staff, putting him in position to succeed, helping him also to develop. His decision-making is growing game by game.
And Mitchell drops them both.
Money from the stripe. He does a great job night in and night out.
Down low, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. That shot off the mark. Good work defensively by Conley.
Just a little off to start this game. 1 for 5, looking to find some kind of rhythm.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. Here's Paul. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Paul's got his second bucket tonight.
The concentration and the body control CP3 possesses is just astonishing.
And taken away by Paul. Three-pointer. That one, no good. So Utah will take it the other way. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
Really a disappointing effort. That game could have and should have been closer than it was.
You know, sometimes you don't play up to your full potential. The important thing to figure out is what went wrong.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Covered by Mitchell. Gilgeous-Alexander can't get it to go. And here's Conley outside. Does not find the basket. His third miss. He's made just one so far. Shoots the three. The Thunder with another miss. Jazz leading by 4. Poked away. And Gobert kicks to Conley. The dish to Mitchell. Shoots it. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet.
Finding a man wide open, Mike Conley does an exceptional job of leading this team.
Adams against Gobert. Gallinari surveying the D. And the foul called on Bojan Bogdanovich. That's his first foul. Over in the corner, Paul. Clock at 6. Over Conley. Paul with the bucket. Paul's got 6.
Smooth, patient. Chris does a good job of working over that in-between area.
Conley, the pass to Gobert. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul. It's getting late in the season. Let's see how the standings are out west. You look at Utah, advantage in 1 series. And, of course, Oklahoma City. They're just sitting 1 spot down right on their heels.
And seeing where Utah is this season has been, it's been solid. But they just need to maintain their place in the standings and get 100% prepared here for the postseason.
I don't think they played their best basketball. So if things do come together for them before the end of the regular season, look out.
Oh, Kevin, get a load of that one. Take that play and put it in the alley-oop textbook, boys.
Perfectly done. You're right. He put it on a platter for him. Outside Conley. Gobert with it. He's definitely not pleased how he played against Toronto. Fires it up. No good off the back of the rim.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Dort passes to Adams. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Floats one, and he sinks the layup. And this game is tied up now.
And that's what he's looking for. After 3 straight misses, finally finds the mark.
And when you look at Utah, this team, year after year, seems to be more than a sum of its parts.
I like that they always look for guys with big-time character, unselfish, low-drama players, and there is a confidence with this group.
Paul against Conley for the 3, and Chris Paul gets the 3. Paul's got 9 points.
Beautiful form on that shot. Chris Paul, one of those superstars who continually refines his game.
Conley dishes to Bogdanovich. Takes a 3. The Thunder pull it in. Adams has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Covered by Mitchell. Dort passes to Adams. And the foul called on Donovan Mitchell. That's his first foul. Both teams deciding to change it up. On defense, Utah. They trail by 1. Schroeder finds Gilgeous-Alexander. 6 to shoot. Noel against Gobert. And it's Noel missing.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
You know, we're seeing players move further and further back to create space, but that does make it a tougher shot.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Gilgeous-Alexander's got his second bucket. Pass to Gobert. Here's Moutier. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's on Dennis Schroeder. Steve, we're seeing more and more teams turn to high motion offenses with a lot of passing, a lot of movement. What makes those systems, do you think, successful in today's game?
I think when you're in constant movement, especially with the rules where you can't grab and clutch and touch, it makes it hard for the defenders to keep guys in front of them. And it's hard to switch defensively when you have a team always in motion.
No good on the free throw.
And still trying to find his footing in the league. Moutier must show improvement in his shooting moving forward.
Diallo, he's checked in for Gilgeous-Alexander. Davis is checked in for the Jazz. So he comes up empty at the line. And for the Thunder, a lot of the assistant coaches leaving this past summer. Greg, how much of a concern is that for head coach Billy Donovan?
Possibly a sign that Donovan could be on the hot seat in OKC. I mean, 3 consecutive first-round exits. Donovan on the final year of his deal. The clock is definitely ticking.
Moutier against Schroeder. And so Oklahoma City again turning it over. Timeout is called, first of the game for the Jazz.
And the first few seasons in the NBA, not an easy time for Terence Ferguson. Young wings have their ups and downs, but the franchise still very much believes in his talent. Here to see the numbers for Moutier. Averaging about 7 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. Nothing about his numbers really jump out at you, but he'll come up with a timely play or two every game.
He understands his role. He accepts it. He's one of those guys who doesn't need the ball to be effective.
And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. And with Ferguson, the fans can be hard on him. They're expecting more. But, Greg, it's going to take time for him.
You know, Ferguson has already made big strides with his defense. The shot and consistency will come, but the fans will have to be patient with it.
And the call will be against Emmanuel Moutier. That's his first foul. And it's the Thunder with the ball. They lead by 4. Diallo the pass to Noel. 4 on the shot clock. From 11 feet away. Rebound collected by Clarkson. And so Clarkson will bring it up for the Jazz. Here's Ingles. Boom, he jams it straight down.
The steady hand of Ingles in pick and roll action, just making plays.
Schroeder outside. Aston Muscala. And here's Diallo. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. And taking a broader look here at the year-over-year scoring trend for Bogdanovich.
And his scoring numbers have been going in the right direction these past few years. He's gotten better and better at handling what those opposing defenses are throwing his way and finding ways to get his points all over the floor.
First free throw is good. You know, Greg, for the Thunder fans, hard to see their star power dwindle, but they got a lot in return.
Yeah, but the Thunder were capped out. Hadn't made it past the first round in 3 years. And in exchange for Paul George, they got one of the richest trade packages in league history.
Both good from the line that time. And with the summer's acquisition of Mike Conley, Greg, the Utah Jazz hoping to make a step in the West.
And really, Mike Conley, their best point guard since they traded away Darren Williams back in 2011. Alongside Bogdanovich, a big upgrade offensively, and he can hold his own on the defensive side as well.
Davis kicks to Ingles. That's in there. Davis with the assist. Ingles has got 5 points so far.
Catching fire. When you have a shooter like Ingles, it's a great play to run.
Muscala, the pass to Noel. Back to Muscala. Here's Ferguson. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. The Thunder with the lead. Schroeder outside. Lets it go with a three. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Now the Jazz take it the other way. And there's a minute 45 left to play in the first. Moutier finds Clarkson. No good with the layup.
That was excellent contest, preventing him from making something that's usually automatic.
And Davis sends it back. And it's out of bounds. The Thunder able to retain possession. .125 left in the first quarter. Diallo, no good.
Offensively, that's how you want to end the possession, except for the result.
Moutier. Another miss by Utah.
Can't fault the play call. Even though he couldn't convert, that's a good shot.
Schroeder kicks to Ferguson. Off target from outside. Utah trailing here. Clarkson taking his time here. There's 47 seconds left here in the opening quarter. To the middle. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. You know, it's tougher to get recognition in a small market like Utah, Smitty. Rudy Gobert says he has to do 3 times as much to draw attention.
And at the same time, his focus is still on team and winning. His leadership is very important to them.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead.
And you look back at that 2013 draft, just call it the year of the sleeper Euros. Giannis Antetokounmpo taken 15th, and this guy, Rudy Gobert, selected with the 27th pick.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
Growing before our eyes, the confidence of Gobert, comfortable doing a little of everything now.
Noel passes to Diallo. He kicks it to Muscala. Nailed from three-point land. And the Thunder lead by 2.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Clarkson dishes to Moutier. And the rejection by Noel. And he gets it back. Gobert the pass to Ingles. And here's the break. And the pass to Diallo. Here's Schroeder. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. A big-time effort for Chris Paul, providing a lot of energy for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. We come back right after this. Chris Paul talks about the matchups he faces at the point guard.
The toughest position in the NBA night in and night out is the point guard position. You know, every night you look at the board, the coach is pretty much going to say, their team goes as such and such goes. You know what I mean? So that's the toughest part, and that's probably the funnest part, too, because it's competition.
And CP3, one of the most competitive players in the game.
It's an obsession with him, and you can see how hard he gets after it every time he takes the court.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And when you consider how the Thunder are doing, guys, what do you think?
Well, credit their anticipation skills on the defensive end. They forced a number of turnovers.
And you can't cause those mistakes unless you're willing to gamble. So far, they've rolled the dice, and it's paid off.
We've got Mike Muscala, Diallo out there with Dennis Schroeder. And there's Nerlens Noel, and it's Ferguson in at the 3, the small forward. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Greg, last season, Dennis Schroeder transitioning to more of a 6-man role with the Thunder.
And for his first go at that role, I thought Schroeder looked really good. He's always been able to score and create, and coming off the bench might be the best spot for him.
Shooting 2.
A free throw drops for Gobert. Steve, when it comes to creating contact, which offensive moves can create the impression of a foul where the defensive player can do nothing about it?
I think ripping through the defender's arms is really tough for the defensive guy right now, Kevin. That's a hard move to defend if you're the defender.
Smitty, I think guys actually practice this, don't they? Ways they can kind of lure a defensive player in like that.
They do. They're strong enough now, and also they are, like you said, practicing that type of move.
The Thunder leading by 3. Diallo the pass to Noel. Dishes it to Schroeder. Over Moutier. That one a little long. The Jazz shooting 39% from the floor. Not their best. And Moutier throws it down.
I like that play by Joe Ingles. Doesn't have anything he wants. Keeps the ball moving.
Pass to Noel. Back to Muscala. And Noel kicks to Ferguson. Just 5 on the clock. The top of the key jumper is on the mark. Ferguson's got his first 2 points of the night. Looking at Oklahoma City, they took the win in their last game against the Celtics in Boston.
Yeah, and in that game, you see how they built out this roster, acquiring role players who can step up when needed.
And a strong bench gives you the flexibility to bring someone in and exploit a certain matchup.
And you know, Clarkson entering the league as a second-round pick, a little unsung for most of his career, but always seems to find a way to contribute.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Shooting 2.
Listen, 84 is a really good number to post at the foul line, and that's where he's at on the year.
Free throw good, Clarkson. And it seems like Jordan Clarkson may have found his niche, Greg, as instant offense coming off the bench.
A perfect fit for a scoring-minded combo guard. Clarkson able to create his own shot and comfortable pulling from all 3 levels.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Noel. Alinari comes in for Mike Muscala. And it's Paul in for Diallo.
When Gordon Hayward left the Jazz 3 summers ago, some expected a rebuild. Instead, they hit gold with Donovan Mitchell and kept on trucking.
And that's one way to extend the lead. Continue to light it up from long range. They have all the confidence in the world right now from the 3-point line.
Conley against Paul. Here's Mitchell. And Adams sends it back. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander checked in for Dennis Schroeder. Utah also making some changes. Bogdanovich comes in for Joe Ingles. And O'Neal subbed in for Jordan Clarkson. Here's Mitchell, 5 to shoot. Again, Mitchell missing. And the heartbreak over losing Hayward. Short-lived, but the Jazz still needed to learn from it.
Very important that the Jazz retain the stars they developed. I think there were some lessons learned along the way.
And Adams gets it to go down
Timeout.
on the assist by Paul. Adams has got the lead up to 6 now for the Thunder. Utah calls timeout. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Was there any steal in the 2017 draft bigger than Donovan Mitchell? My goodness, guys, Utah looks like they found a franchise player with him.
I mean, to see a player his age come in and just be an elite scorer is impressive. Very explosive in transition, but also in the half court. Reminds you a bit of Westbrook or a young D. Wade with how he plays.
One shot.
They've hit every one of their free throws here in the second quarter. Very important when you're trailing.
Gallinari outside. Oh, the lob to Gallinari.
This is what I like about Gallinari, the scoring versatility. He can finish off the catch as well as create his own offense.
Here's Conley. And Adams sends it back. And it's Gilgeous-Alexander in the corner. The quick look, no good that time. Jazz trail by 5. Outside Conley. Outside Davis. Back to Conley. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
And still early in the period, and they're only one foul away from being over the limit.
Now O'Neal. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet.
And being over the limit this early really can affect your aggressiveness defensively. They have got to play under control.
For Utah, they have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. And Steve, some classic shoe brands making a return to the NBA with updated versions. Smitty, what was your sneaker of choice back in the day?
Kevin, that's funny. I started off with the pumps, the double pumps, and then I ended up with a shell-toe low top. And then now you see all the youngsters now wearing low tops. They used to tell me back in the day, low tops were not good for your ankles. But I didn't really jump that high, so I was okay.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, last season the G League tested out an expansion of the clear path rule. And now that expansion is making its way to the NBA. It should discourage those intentional fouls that slow up teams on the fast break. Fans wanted it, and analysts clamored for it. And that will allow the amazing athletes in this league more opportunities to show what they can do in the fast break.
You're right, David. A welcome change. Thank you. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Dort. Off target from three-point range. And so it's Conley bringing up the ball for Utah. 6-point game. Last time they met was in Utah.
When they ran the offense right, they found some easy shots. But on that occasion, it was few and far between.
You know, they take 1 step forward, 2 steps back, and exercise in frustration.
Outside Bogdanovich. No good with the triple. Oklahoma City leading by 6. Dort passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. Down low. The shot's good from Paul. Paul's got 16 points.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum. You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it. And here's a check of the 2K leaderboard and the top rebounding shooting guards of the past 10 games. You take a look at Gilgeous-Alexander, one of the game's best, second in the league.
Well, it's not easy to do what these players have done in that area, strictly because of positioning. I mean, typically a two-guard, you're not in tight when a shot goes up, so competing for rebounds is that much more difficult.
It just illustrates the level of effort that the guys on that list play with every night. They're willing to do all the things to help their teams win, and rebounding is a big part of it.
Molinari finds Paul. 9 feet out, and Adams with the basket on the assist by Paul. And now it's a 10-point Thunder lead. The Jazz shooting 33% for the night. That's a big thorn in their side right now. Conley dishes to Bogdanovich. They could use a bucket. Makes it off the glass.
And how about the fearlessness from Bogdanovich? Doesn't pay the D any mind. He enjoys sticking it to them there in the paint.
Passes it to Gilgeous-Alexander. Kicks to Paul. Got a piece of it. The shot. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It goes on Ed Davis.
CP3 stop and go. Drew the foul on that play.
Well, we're now on the back end of what has been, Greg, an incredible career for Chris Paul. Perhaps no longer the undisputed best point guard in the game, but still a top talent.
And Chris Paul might not be the best point guard, but any team would be happy to have him. His efficiency and playmaking aren't going away anytime soon. And even though he's never been an overly athletic player, that aspect of his game still is strong as ever.
And that one falls for Paul.
And it's interesting looking back at past drafts. Chris Paul taken 4th overall, but will be the clear #1 in a do-over.
The Jazz making a switch here. Gobert's checked in. And Paul drills both of them. Jazz trail by 10. Now here is Conley. He's coming off a 13-point game against Toronto.
And it wasn't just the points. He brought hustle, he brought energy, and he brought it on the glass.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Paul passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. The rebound by the Jazz. Gobert's got his 5th rebound in this one.
It's amazing. All night he's been out of sync on the offensive end, yet they continue to lead.
And it's Conley penetrating. Bogdanovich wide open. And the 3 off target. The Thunder leading by 8 to the wing right side. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Good work there as it goes. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 7 points.
Physical D, but Shea shows unreal body control when driving to the bucket.
And Bogdanovich kicks to Conley. Kicks it out to Mitchell. The 3, that's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got 4 assists now tonight.
Sometimes trailing in the game, players get sucked into trying to make that home run play.
The drive by Paul. The shot comes out.
And his pure defensive effort changed that shot from an easy one to a tough one.
And you know, technically, it's a high percentage look, but this is why we play the game.
Count that one.
This has been a tremendous quarter for him. Everything he puts up now looks like it's going in.
Mitchell against Gallinari. Mitchell outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From deep. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will retain possession. And now a look at the upcoming schedule for the Utah Jazz. On Friday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans. And then on Saturday, they'll be taking on Jonas Valanciunas and the Memphis Grizzlies.
And that game against the Lakers, they can't come out playing timid. Just because they're facing the top team in the West, you've got to play your game. Minimize mistakes, and if they do that, they got a chance at the W.
Here's Dort. Gobert with the block. In transition, here come the Jazz. And with that, the Thunder lead is cut down to 7 on the bucket for Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell is comfortable playing at all 3 levels. He's playing at his highest level tonight offensively.
And first timer of the game called for Oklahoma City. And the Thunder going with a whole new group out there. Utah also making some changes. Joe Ingles, he's checked in for O'Neal. Clarkson comes in for Mitchell. And it's Moutier in for Mike Conley. Here's Diallo. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
There's a built-in respect for coaches who played in the NBA. The Jazz, Quinn Snyder, never made it that far. But as a point guard, he helped Duke make 3 Final Four appearances.
That free throw, no good. Smitty Snyder, also an All-American in high school, 2-time Washington State Basketball Player of the Year in high school.
Led Mercer Island to a state title and then experienced coaching in college, the G League, and abroad. He's a lifer, and he's been around the game far and wide.
And he's good on the second.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
Moutier dishes to Gobert. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
When Gobert gets in deep, that's often your best option is to wrap him up and send him to the line.
So far, he's hit all of his shots at the foul line, going 4 for 4.
And of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
Shooting 2.
He's off on the first. And the second free throw, good. The Thunder leading by 7. Schroeder passes to Muscala. Ferguson kicks to Diallo. Pass to Muscala. Shot clock at 5. Shoots over Clarkson. Utah with the rebound. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. And that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home. He was all alone on that one. Moutier's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Here in the second quarter, he's looking much more comfortable with his offense.
The pass to Noel. To the inside. Schroeder. A shot off that time. So Utah will take it the other way. Now here's Moutier. Defense right on him. Again, the Jazz score.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
1:15 left in the second quarter. Noel passes to Schroeder, and Muscala has it in the corner. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got 3 assists tonight.
Gradually starting to put pressure on this defense. That's his second from downtown this quarter. 3 for the game.
Moutier passes to Gobert. Schroeder against Moutier. A 3 from Bogdanovich. And Utah another 3.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
How often do we see this these days? Clubs answering each other from range.
And Noel kicks it over to Schroeder. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
And not the most common call
you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
It's often a tough call that can go either way, but I agree with you on that one.
Clarkson passes to Moutier. No good. That would have tied it.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
And there's the call on Rudy Gobert. That is his first foul of the game. There's 14 seconds left in the first half. Schroeder with the ball. He picked up 27 points in their last win against the Celtics in Boston. Over Moutier. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. A big-time effort for Chris Paul, providing a lot of energy for the Oklahoma City Thunder. His production has been flowing as he's tallied 20 points and looks to be planning for more. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with head coach Quinn Snyder. Coach, what adjustments are you going to do in the second half?
You just got to keep playing, keep taking the shots, and that's not the issue as much as us not executing on offense. And when we don't score, sometimes our defense lags as well.
Everybody wants to see the ball go in the basket first, right? Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
It is a good game we have here after one half of play, everybody. Chris Paul had a huge first quarter. He had 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, their ball movement was phenomenal. Now, they're in good position to win this game, large in part because of those assists. And this is the thing, Ernie. When you win as a team, you feel better about everything that happens.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Utah?
Their three-point shooting in the first half was atrocious. Ugh, ugly, awful, nasty. It's not that they're just missing shots. It's like they just keep taking the shots. Hold on, Ernie. Hey, you! Whatever your number is, stop shooting the three. See, Ernie, that's all the coach got to do. Tell them stop shooting the three. Pass, cut, work together, do something.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. It's been a clinic by Chris Paul.
And it's something that isn't his strength, but he's done a great job of finding the open man.
Yeah, in the first half, he took on the role of playmaker. I think it surprised the defense a little bit, gave this offense a different dimension.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. So on the floor for Utah, Conley runs the point with Mitchell flanking him. Bogdanovich out there with Gobert, and it's O'Neal in at the 3 spot. Paul with the 3. Bogdanovich grabs the miss. Bogdanovich has got rebound number 5 here tonight.
And the signing of Bojan Bogdanovich, a great move for the Jazz. With his shooting, more spacing for Gobert and Mitchell to operate, he's capable of creating shots on his own as well.
4 on the clock. Conley gets the bucket.
Give Conley credit. He's recognized the need to become a knockdown shooter and put in the work.
Paul against Conley. And Paul gets it to go in. Paul's got 22. Third quarter here and 5 lead changes so far.
And guys, neither team has been able to pull away.
Conley finds Mitchell. Shoots over Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Mitchell missing. Oklahoma City's gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight. Just a little over 40%. Conley against Paul. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
And here's a look at stats for Adams. He's been on a tremendous roll since the All-Star break. 5th in field goal percentage, 13th in rebounding, and he's as opportunistic as anybody defensively, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in steals per game.
And yeah, he's such an efficient scorer, understands the offense, moves without the ball so well. That's why he's top 5 in field goal percentage. And he knocks down the first one. And so Paul nails both of them. Utah with the ball. 90 seconds now into the second half. To the paint. Knocks it loose. Kicks it out to Bogdanovich. In the corner, O'Neal with it. Thunder with the rebound.
And I was sure that was money on that one, but everyone is afforded an easy miss or two.
Yes, let's look on the bright side. You got a great look. It's a play that you might want to go back to again.
Mitchell outside. Outside Conley from past the arc. It's hauled in by Adams.
Only 1 for 4 in this half. Sometimes it's execution. Sometimes the shots just don't go down.
They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
And for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, his size at the point guard spot is a huge bonus for him. Allows him to switch onto most other players on defense when dealing with picks.
What's up?
And one of the reasons they targeted Gilgeous-Alexander was because of his size.
Big guards aren't easy to find, Kevin, and they help coaches' defensive scheme. Every team looks to get a switch into a bad defensive matchup. If your PG isn't an option, the offense has to work that much harder.
Shot to stop the run, and Michael Conley good for 3. Conley's got 10 points.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Paul passes to Adams. And here is Gilgeous-Alexander. And the foul called on Donovan Mitchell. That's his 3rd foul of the game. And now we're 3 minutes into the 3rd quarter of play. Gallinari right side. Offensive rebound. A shot that time, not on target. Jazz trail by 5. Over to the wing. O'Neal kicks to Conley. Shot clock at 6. It's deflected. Out to the right wing. And stolen by Bogdanovich. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. It's good, and the Thunder lead is cut down now to just 3 on the basket for Mitchell.
Already with a bullseye on his back, Donovan Mitchell reacts to the defense, and he scores.
Ball against Bogdanovich. Now here's Paul. He's tightly guarded, but they'll get another chance. 6 to shoot. Dort passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. Stolen by Mitchell. And the Jazz pushing it up now. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
I just don't know how you defend Donovan Mitchell. He's a dangerous offensive player, and he's learning how to get to the free throw line.
This is his 3rd trip to the free throw line. And he makes the first.
In a short time span, I'm amazed at how far Donovan Mitchell's come. He has very few weaknesses for a young player.
And Mitchell drops them both. The Thunder have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. And here is Gilgeous-Alexander. He's got 10. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Since the All-Star break, this group has been on fire. Here are the field goal percentage leaders for the season's second half. Rudy Gobert, number 1. And, of course, Steven Adams.
What a shooting exhibition it's been for these two players during that stretch. I mean, nearly automatic for both.
The first one falls.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
No good on the second free throw. And in a league obsessed with shooting, easy to see why Bojan Bogdanovich has solidified himself as a key player.
I mean, over 40% from long range in recent years, competes defensively. He's a player.
Here's O'Neal. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. And the Jazz lead by 1. This game has a lot of character here in the third period. 6 changes of the lead here.
Intensity is the theme for this one.
So reliable. They've really leaned on him at the offensive end.
Conley dishes to Gobert. Back to Conley. Ball's knocked loose, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul. And the Thunder making a switch here. Noel's checked in, and Utah also making a switch. Ingles is checked in. Six on the shot clock. Adams against O'Neal. Nice form on the 20-footer. O'Neal's got 5 points now this quarter. Oklahoma City's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. So here's Gallinari. His scoring totals are something to take note of. He's averaging over 19 points a game. And he makes that one.
With a hand in his face, Gallinari showing great confidence and composure.
Knocked loose. Gilgeous-Alexander with the steal. Finishes the break with a slam.
And that's how to make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered.
And taken away by Paul. Shoots again, Oklahoma City.
And Chris Paul is known for his lockdown D. If you aren't careful with the ball, he will swipe it clean.
Now Conley. He's got 10. Now here's Mitchell. And stolen by Noel. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Covered by Conley. Adams. And Adams with the slam.
Excellent on both ends of that play.
Yeah, the steal was sharp, but the slam topped it off.
Turning defense into offense. Every coach talks about it. Perfect example right there.
Mitchell kicks to Conley. To end the run, O'Neal trying to break free. Good work defensively by Paul.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Pass to Mitchell. Thunder with the rebound. Gallinari's got his 6th rebound on the night. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He's guarded closely. Here's Noel. And a great assist by Gilgeous-Alexander as that one goes in. Gilgeous-Alexander's got assist number 8 now on the night. And the Jazz call time here.
Yeah, just looking to tighten up their defense in the paint. They've got to be better.
It's a matter of want to. Helping out, contesting shots. You have to want to make the effort.
And a new group in here for the Thunder. Muscala, he's checked in for Steven Adams. Terence Ferguson comes in for Gallinari. Diallo, he's checked in for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Chris Paul. Jordan Clarkson, he's checked in for Utah. Moutier comes in for Michael Conley. Well, Steve, we keep seeing new arenas and new state-of-the-art training facilities. As a player, what do you value more, home court or the practice court?
Kevin, I really think it's the practice court because you spend so much time there. But a lot of times now, franchises have both, the home court and their practice facility right inside the arena. If you can have the practice court at an all-time high, something guys like and love, they'll spend a lot of time there.
Free throw good. Clarkson. And both free throws good for Clarkson.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Schroeder with the ball. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Muscala finds Diallo. The rebound by the Jazz. Gobert's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. And the foul called on Nerlens Noel. That will be foul number 5 on him.
Just a little too aggressive. His 5th foul of the night. Expect them to go right at him to try to pick up number 6.
Here's Mitchell. Noel knocks it away.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
And here's Schroeder. Throws it up high, and Noel throws it down.
More of a score-first point guard, but Schroeder doing a good job of finding the open man.
Clarkson kicks to Ingles. A baseline J, and with that, the Thunder lead is cut down to 7 on the bucket from Clarkson.
High offensive IQ. He makes great reads and adjustments on the fly.
Here's Schroeder. Sweet little floater. Schroeder's got his first 2 points.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
First free throw is good. He's perfect from the line this time. Oklahoma City leading by 7. He kicks it to Muscala. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got his 5th assist in this one. Moutier looking around, passes it to Gobert. Moutier against Schroeder. Back to Moutier. Just 5 to shoot. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. Count that bucket. Clarkson's got 6 in the quarter.
Man, he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
Deflects the pass. There's 1:47 left in the 3rd quarter of the game. And with that, the Thunder lead is cut down now to just 6 in the basket for Mitchell.
That's the result of hard work. Mitchell just gets better and better off the bounce.
Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Gobert against Noel. Here's Muscala. And the Thunder another 3.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on Schroeder.
Mitchell up top. He's guarded by Diallo. And no one near Clarkson as he lets it go. And the Jazz, another three.
Matching baskets from the perimeter, an earmark of today's game.
Hey, players love competition, and the fans love it as well.
Here's Schroeder. Gobert with the block. And it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. Bogdanovich, he's checked in for Utah. There's 42 seconds left to play in the third. Ferguson misses. And so it's Mitchell who brings up the ball for the Jazz. Now Clarkson, 11 points in the game. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Noel, and so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game. Gallinari, he's checked in for the Thunder. And the first one at the line is good. He hits both from the stripe. The Thunder leading by 4. Schroeder surveying the floor. Pass to Gallinari. Gobert with the block. And here's the fast break. Clarkson leading the way. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Yeah, this offense is rolling. They've been assertive, but they're also playing under control.
And it has them in a great spot to take the lead. They love to get a few stops now at the other end.
A big-time effort for Chris Paul, providing a lot of energy for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He has been a determined scorer today. 29 points altogether for him, and I think there's more where that came from. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Now let's hear what head coach Billy Donovan was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Hold your ground. Don't let him back your way in. Just hold your ground. The other thing, too, is once he picks the ball up, he's not going to shoot it. If he does, just stay down on him.
I like the way that Donovan's conveying that scouting report to his guys.
I mean, knowing how your opponent plays is important, and I think he's on point on this one.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. We've got Ferguson. Muscala is out there with Gallinari. Then there's Dennis Schroeder, and it's Diallo in at the 2. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. They grab their own miss, and slam dunk by Gobert.
For Gobert, when it comes to rebounding, it's not just the height and length, it's also the instincts.
Gallinari outside. Puts up a 3. Can't hit that one. And Utah the other way now. Now, here's Clarkson. Mitchell looking it over to take the lead. Ferguson with the rebound.
He's been of no help stretching the floor tonight. Just 1 3 in the first half. Nothing in the second.
The pass to Muscala. Now Schroeder. Pass to Ferguson. 5 on the clock. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot from deep three-point range, and it's Schroeder missing. Utah's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Shots good by Clarkson. Clarkson's got 15 points in just the second half.
And that's about the worst defense I can imagine a team playing coming down the stretch.
And I love the play call. This is where you get the ball into the hands of your closers, where they can do something with it.
Diallo with it. Passes it to Muscala. Shoots over Clarkson. The Thunder with another miss. For Utah, they've gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Here's Mitchell. That one doesn't drop. Straight D that time from Dennis Schroeder. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Gallinari. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Gallinari's got the game tied up here for the Thunder. Utah shooting 47% from the floor, getting it done. Mitchell outside. Gobert the pass to Clarkson. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
Good find, and one of Gobert's advantages as a passer, he can see over everyone's head.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. You gotta like what Jordan Clarkson has done in this game.
And he's in a complete groove right now. I don't think they can stop him altogether, but they at least need to make him work a little harder than he has been.
Both teams will make substitutions. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to listen to what Billy Donovan said to his team. He said, look, you guys are playing physical, and I like that, but it has to be under control. We've committed way too many fouls. We've allowed way too many foul shots. Kevin?
And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can be a game changer on the defensive end. Has very good instincts for staying in front of guys.
That's tipped. Tries to save it. Gobert the pass to Clarkson. Outside Conley. O'Neal kicks to Clarkson. The rebound by Steven Adams. Adams has got 9 rebounds now tonight to take the lead, and it's wide right. It's off the rim. For Utah, they've gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Clarkson dishes to Bogdanovich. And Adams sends it back. Ball against Clarkson. Paul passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. But they recover it.
Despite his slim frame, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is showing enough strength to take the hit and complete the play.
Conley kicks to Bogdanovich. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Steven Adams picks one up.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
And you look at the way Steven Adams has developed his offense the last few years. It's been a huge boost for this team. He has always been a great defender, but now he is an important cog on this team in terms of scoring.
The first free throw is good. And with Adams in his offense, you forget how young he is.
And big men, sometimes they just take a little longer to find their path in the NBA. And Adams has certainly found his. I remember him being in mostly to screen and rebound when he was a rookie, but look how far his game has come.
And so Bogdanovich nails both of them.
And Bogdanovich is a confident, efficient player, a guy who can play either the 2 or 3 spots on the floor.
And Paul gets it to go in. Paul's got 31 points.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Pass to Clarkson. Conley left side. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Jazz passing it around.
I don't get it. He was so efficient in the first half, 0 turnovers, but since the break, he's been a disaster.
Gotta take care of the ball. They'll punish you if you're that careless.
That's right, and that's severe punishment right there.
We talk about it time and time again. Turnovers are costly, especially when the game is close.
Conley with the 3. The Jazz again can't hit it.
Oh, man, he hasn't had the rhythm tonight. Tried to make up for it there, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Ball is doubled, and we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. So it's Utah now. Jazz trail by 4. And here's Clarkson. Knocked away. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. Paul's running.
And that's going to happen. Paul recognizes the imbalance in the defense. Delivers a perfect pass.
Conley, the pass to Bogdanovich. Out to Conley. Lock at 6. Here's Clarkson. The Jazz again can't hit it. Now the Thunder with it. They're on a 12-4 run right now. Here's Paul. Bogdanovich grabs the miss. Bogdanovich has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Conley finds Clarkson. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And he knocks down the first one. And both free throws good for Clarkson.
I love how hard he's playing, really since the break. All the defense can do at this point is foul him.
Adams outside. Back to Paul. Top of the key, Gilgeous-Alexander. Fast break, here come the Jazz. And it's blocked. Inside. No good that time. And Utah the other way now. Here's O'Neal. Outside, Bogdanovich. Conley finds Bogdanovich. Shoots over Adams. Another miss by Utah.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
O'Neal comes with the double team. And there's the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Adams against Conley. Adams, the pass to Gallinari. Misses the 3. And it's Conley with the ball for the Utah Jazz, trailing by 4. Pass to Clarkson. Passes to Gobert. From deep. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Paul's got 5 rebounds tonight. Knocks it loose. Pass to Dort. O'Neal against Paul. Now the pass to Dort. Stolen by Conley. And now here comes Conley leading the break. The Thunder pull it in. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. And Gallinari throws it down.
Leaving no doubt about that one. Gallinari active, getting to the rim.
And the Jazz call time here.
And he could tell his guys were dragging a little bit, calling timeout to kind of let them catch their breath.
Chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Chris Paul.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
Mitchell, he's checked in for Clarkson. Jazz trail by 6. Now Conley. From outside the arc. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Gilgeous-Alexander's got his 5th rebound in this one.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category. Oh, great ball movement there.
Utah shooting a mediocre 41% in this one. Conley feeling it out. Yes, that goes in. Here's Dort. Pass to Adams. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Back to Gallinari. Just 5 to shoot. 3-pointer. Dort misses.
You can't miss those, but even the best do on occasion.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Pushing the action, Donovan Mitchell has an innate ability to make people foul him.
Drops the first one, and that brings them within 5. The Jazz making a switch here. Ingles is checked in. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
Yeah, that's who you want stepping to the line when the game is close.
To the inside, Hall, and a great assist by Gilgeous-Alexander as that one goes in. Gilgeous-Alexander's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. Now here's Conley. And he uses the glass on the layup.
With the game's momentum up for grabs, Conley values being the guy to take the crucial shot. Just a remarkable score in these situations.
And it's Gilgeous-Alexander in the corner. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
An incredible play by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This kid is not afraid of the moment.
Conley for 3, drills the 3-pointer. Conley's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
Game on the line, you trust Mike Conley to deliver.
The Thunder leading by 3. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. With the floater, Gobert with the block, and he recovers it. Here's Dort. Ingles covering. It counts.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Outside Conley. They get the rebound. Money! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
Gobert looking comfortable stepping into the spotlight right now.
They'll be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see longer possessions from this point on.
From 12 feet out. Good!
He just exudes a love of the game, guys. You can see it in everything he does. This guy lives and breathes the game.
And the Jazz call time here. They're trailing by 5. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
Looking for a quick shot, trying to extend the game.
And on the defensive end, they'll have to foul whomever gets the ball. No time left to be picky.
Seconds left in the fourth quarter. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Conley causes so many problems for the defense. He's quick, and he has the ability to score from anywhere.
He hits the first one, and that shrinks the margin to just 4.
What I appreciate about Conley, the assist-to-turnover ratio for his career has been outstanding.
And Conley drops them both.
And now you're in a great position thanks to those clutch free throws. 1 possession game now.
And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game out.
And they go to the intentional foul. Two. So the first one drops, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he gets them both, and it's a 5-point game.
Big moment at the line. As poised as you get, this thing is done.
Ingles passes to Conley. But they get it back. Mitchell outside. It's off. So it's Oklahoma City picking up the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got a sense that the fans gave them that emotional boost that was needed down the stretch. This crowd, man, they were electric.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much.
All right, David, thank you. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. Now for Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA here on 2K Sports. So long, everyone.